next comic is Evan Royce Proffer. Man. Man, Royce. I just want to say, Royce is such a cool middle name. I wish I had a middle name that cool, but I don't. It's a real shame. But anyway, here you go. Evan Royce Proffer. Painter by day, panther by night.
What's going on, guys? Check, Norris. This mic works. What's going on? So, you know what's gross? What's really, really gross is when you have dirty clothes and you throw them against the wall and they stick there. What's grosser than that? They slowly slide down. What's grosser than all that? They crawl back up. I'm Evan Proffer. That was my bit. Goodbye. Sorry, just kidding. Okay, so I thought I would start off tonight with introducing myself and what I'm all about. Now, I've always liked girls, like a lot. Like, girls are, I mean, when you were a kid, do you guys remember, like, all the little boys are like, ew, girls have cooties? I wasn't that kid. I was not, like, when there was the pillow fortresses, right, and the little kids would stick the sign outside and say, no girls allowed, I was like, girls only. You know? See, my experiences with girls actually started really early on. Preschool was my first relationship. Thank you, that's impressive for those who don't know. Now, the thing about having a relationship in preschool is, you know, there's not a whole lot of relationship you can do in preschool. Like, hey, do you want to go play on the monkey bars? Well, sure, I'd love to go play on the monkey bars. And then we fell in love. I mean, seriously, like, not only that, she sounded a lot like me, so helped the process along. Anyway, there was this one day when we had just finished playing outside, and we were about to go home, but we were eating lunch. And I look at her, and I'm like, I really like you. And she looked at me, and we just stared at each other for a bit, just longingly into each other's eyes. And she took my arm, and I was thinking at this point, like, this is what love is. You know, like. And then she bit my arm as hard as she could. Like, as hard as she could. And it wasn't even one of those, like, ooh, she's a biter. You know, like, no, it was like straight up, like, I thought that look was, I love you. That look meant this sandwich isn't enough. You know what I mean? Like, nom, right? So anyway, later on in life, now let's go to kindergarten here, where I had my second experience with girls. So kindergarten was a great time for me. Now, I am completely unashamed when I say this. I hung out with the girls, and not only did I hang out with the girls, I played house with the girls. Thank you. Now, you see, the thing about playing house with the girls is I wasn't the brother, husband, and or boyfriend, I was the cat in the house. So all the girls would be like, Samantha, Tammy needs to go to college. Oh, I'm so frustrated with you. Where's my cat? And I was like, meow. Pet me. So anyway, I learned a lot about girls in kindergarten. So let's shoot to a time when I'm a bit more experienced, and I know what I'm doing around women. 3rd grade. So we had a huge gymnasium. Like Oak Grove Elementary School, you could say one thing on the side of the gymnasium, it would echo back to you for about 10 seconds. Huge, massive gymnasium. So I had fallen madly in love with this girl, right? Totally madly in love. Puppy love as puppy love gets. And, you know, all of us 3rd graders are doing our 3rd grade stretches before PE, and we're just staring at each other. And does anybody know what the Superman stretch is? Where you lay down on your stomach and you do that, right? So we were staring at each other doing the Superman stretches, just looking into each other's eyes. And I did the one crime that a 3rd grader can commit without going to juvie. I farted. And not only did I fart, it was a 5-second fart. And if you don't think a 5-second fart is a long fart, count to 5, please. So here's 3rd grade me committing this crime right in front of her. We're still staring at each other. So, and all the 3rd graders are just dying on the floor laughing because we're already there. So, I wanted this part to stop really, really bad, like needless to say. And I thought that clenching my cheeks would do the job. It actually upgraded the crime to a felony, and it became a squealer. And you know, squealing farts to a class full of third graders in an echoing gymnasium, that's about as bad as it gets. Has anybody ever wanted to die in a pit before, like instantly? Yeah, so that was essentially my love life in my younger days. Let's shoot to a time when I really am a bit more experienced. And life was going all kinds of good ways. And sophomore year in high school, I had started to learn how to pick up girls, right? So, the day before I got up to this girl that I really liked, I had these sunglasses clips. Now they would clip over your regular glasses, and they would make your regular glasses sunglasses, right? And you know, these sunglasses, they came with a mantra of their own. It was sort of like, timid sophomore high schooler, click, sex god. Yeah? So I had all this newfound courage with my sex god sunglasses clips. And I walk up to this girl I like, and we're getting a little cozy. And, you know, we're looking into each other's eyes, and things are going really, really well. And I was like, you have the prettiest brown eyes I've ever seen. And she's like, my eyes are green. At which point I had to resort to the only thing that I knew would work. Now, I'm going to warn everybody before I say this. See, ladies, please restrain yourselves from jumping me until after I get off stage. Boyfriends, I'm sorry, but your girlfriends are about to leave you. Okay, I'm not sorry, and neither will she. But, you know, this pickup line works 100% of the time, most of the time. Hey, did it hurt when you fell from heaven? Because your face is really fucked up. Just kidding. Anyway, so the thing about hanging out with all these girls, though, is my family has been really, really adamant that I'm gay. And I'm not gay. I feel that hanging out with a bunch of girls should make me like epic straight, right? Like super, super alpha male straight. But no, they're all pretty convinced that I'm gay. And it's, you know, it doesn't help when my dad asks me like, son, do you like musical theater? No, Dad, I don't like musical theater. Oh, I love musical theater! And a few Lifetime movies. But, you know the thing about being gay, it's all your brothers pick on you and all that. And see, my mom and dad, they got divorced. And my dad takes every chance he can get to get at my mom's buttons, okay? So when my mom first figured out that I was having sex, she called up my dad. And she's like, Terry, you know that your son has had intimate relations with a woman? And my dad's like, well, at least he's not gay. Thanks, Dad. Now, also, think about, you know, people calling you gay. I thought it would be funny for an April Fool's joke to, like, get on Facebook, change my likes to men, and I post it as a status. Like, hey guys, I've been thinking a lot about it. I'm gay. And within, I like how there's one person who laughed at that. So anyway, within 1 hour, I had 40 comments on that one post, 30 of which were all saying, dude, totally called it. To this day, they're like, oh, you're just going back on it. That wasn't an April Fool's joke. You see, think about being gay also. Well, being people thinking you're gay. I'm not gay. No. But the thing about people thinking you're gay, you become really easy to pick on. Like, I don't know why this happens, but actually, I found this out in middle school. You know, you see, in middle school, I was, you know, about 5'11", tall guy, but tops 90 pounds. You know the difference between my forearms and my biceps in middle school? Because I don't. Like, seriously. So, I was one of those kids, like, I wasn't even one of the tough middle schoolers. I didn't play sports or anything. You know what I did? I played Dungeons and Dragons. And I went to Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments. I know, right? So, in middle school, I was mugged twice. Now, the thing about being mugged was, When you move from a little town in the middle of nowhere where they say hey y'all and howdy to LA where they definitely don't say hey y'all and howdy, there's a lot of culture shock there and people see that. And when I was mugged, it wasn't even like one of the cool muggings where there was like, I don't know, a struggle. It was more just like, okay, first time I got mugged, 2 high school guys come up to me and they're like, hey, let me see your backpack. And I was like, would you like coffee with that? You know what I mean? Second time was slightly more interesting. So the second time I got mugged, I was walking home. Bear in mind, I'm 90 pounds, and I didn't believe in using the school lockers to carry my textbooks, and to store my textbooks, so I carried all my textbooks, which means I had about 40 pounds of weight in my backpack at all times. I've always been notorious for having a heavy backpack. So the thing about having this heavy backpack, I was walking pretty slow, and this like guy in his late 20s, I'd say, cholo-looking guy, like white beater on, you know, the whole deal, short hair, whatever. He was following behind me on his bicycle. And I was like, huh, well that's kind of weird. You'd think if he has a bicycle, he'd be going faster than me. Red flag number 1. Now, I was walking home, and he finally passes me on his bicycle. And he stops a ways up in front of me, and he starts tying his shoe. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And as I got closer, I noticed there were no laces on his shoes. He was wearing slip-on shoes. Red flag number 2. Now, when I walk up to him, he's like, hey man, do you have any money for a payphone? And I was like, there isn't a single freaking payphone in South Pasadena. Red flag number 3. So then he's like, oh, so you have money for a payphone? No, sorry man, I don't have any money for a payphone. He's like, can I check? Red flags number 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I knew exactly what was going on. So he's like, let me see your backpack. And I was like, would you like coffee with that? You know? So he goes through my backpack, starts taking things out, throws my library book out, actually. He keeps all the textbooks, which I do, to this day do not get. You know, college-age guy stealing middle school textbooks. Anyway, and then he's like, hey, where's your wallet? And by the way, I don't know how far up on the gangstar totem pole you have to be to mug an emaciated middle schooler, but this guy was legit. Okay. This guy was the real deal. You know what I mean? So he's like, hey, kid, where's your wallet? I was like, keep in mind, in middle school, I was poor. I didn't have money, thus I didn't need a wallet. So I didn't have a wallet on me. So I started apologizing to this guy for not having a wallet. I'm apologizing to my mugger, the guy who's stealing all my shit, that I don't have a wallet. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'll do better next time. Next time I get a wallet, it's yours. You know what I mean? So yeah, he made off with my stuff, and to this day there's only 2 things I can really take solace in. It's just the fact that if I was as big as I am now back then, I could bench that guy plus his bike. Number 2, when he threw my backpack over his shoulder to ride away, he fell off his damn bike. Thank you, I'm Evan Proffer.
Alright, that was Evan Royce Proffer. I just can't get over the Royce, I'm sorry. It's just, my middle name is Edward, and that was alright for a while, but ever since the sparkling thing, it just doesn't do it anymore.